Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Paranormal Brew. I'm your host, Taryn Kerber, and tonight I have two guests coming on that I have been blessed within the last year to have fallen in love with. Sarah Grimm and Fred Eyer. They have been working on a film, 24 Hours in Hell, and I really, there's a lot of work that goes behind all this stuff, and I'm happy that they decided they when I asked them to come on to talk about it, because they work very hard. So I'm pretty sure this is going to be a good. I don't know what they label it as. I'll let them tell that. A documentary, a film, a show, but I no doubt it's going to be good. So let me bring them on. Hello, guys.
Hi, everybody.
Howdy.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
I am doing good. Fabulous. I'm happy to have you guys here. I've known Sarah, we first started talking last summer, this beginning of the summertime. And she's like a long lost sister. I can't believe I love this woman so much.
Oh, thank you. The feeling is mutual. And this is the first time I'm actually seeing you and speaking to you.
Yeah, absolutely. Right? Yeah, it's crazy. We talk on the phone, but we've never, FaceTime videoed or anything. So
yeah, no, it's been great. It's been great. We're happy to be here.
Yeah. So thanks for coming on Paranormal Brew. You guys are working on, would you call it a documentary, a film, a TV show?
Yeah, it's a TV show. It was an idea that we came up with, myself and two other ladies, over a year ago, probably a year and a half ago now. Mm-hmm. And it's just a totally different concept. There was a lot of brains sort of at work to put it together. And we spend 24 hours at the Waldorf, and special experiments, solos, just normal, typical investigating. It's very different. And then we incorporated special guests as the season went on, which is great because that brings a different energy and brings different activity and stuff like that. And it was a lot of work filming, which he could talk about. And then it's like, okay, here's all this stuff. Go do footage review. And hey, Lawrence. Yeah. And, which I did all the footage review for the first filming, but I did have help with the second, thank God. But it's a lot, and then I kind of hand him all of the evidence, and you could take it from here.
Yeah. So Fred, tell everybody that doesn't know you just a little bit, like, how did you get into the paranormal? Is this all you do? Is this part of it? Do you investigate? Just give us a little background.
God, where do I even start with that?
It started in 2019.
When you and I started in 2019.
Wait a minute. Can I just say something? Because Mr. Bones has a Mrs. Bones back there.
So Matthias Kondraculus is making a joke because we got bones.
No, it's Boney Stark.
It's awesome. That's Scully with a C, but she's wearing a Walking Dead shirt.
That's
Oh,
awesome.
nuh-uh. I love it. Look at that.
Hold on.
See?
Hold on. I got it. You can never see her. But
Stop
she
it. Is that the one you have?
It's
Stop. It looks almost identical. I
My-
swear to God.
mine has Nightmare on Elm Street shirt on.
Mine's a Walking Dead shirt.
That is hysterical. See,
Um,
great minds think alike. I'm leaning because of this damn thing. No,
and
my
she,
mouth is
You,
too
you,
big.
you can adjust it.
My
You can
mouth is
adjust it.
too big. Take it. Okay.
and she glows in the dark.
I don't think mine does. I accidentally scared the crap out of myself the first night we got it
He did.
because he was just sitting in the chair. I walk in, it was late at night. I'm like, oh.
Matt, no food always in the I'm not eating.
There's a
Listen,
lot of
Taryn does that too. The food in the mouth. Look at Matt. When we're talking, she's crunching on stuff. I'm always eating.
I know she's like,
Go ahead.
honey, you're always eating. Kristen's always burping.
Yes, I do both. I'm twofold.
Yeah.
You're the classier one, Taryn. I've never heard you burp yet.
Oh wow. Yay.
go
Okay, sorry, Fred. The ADHD. ADHD went like
I think I have it too.
No, it's all right.
so go
Well-
ahead. So how'd you get into the paranormal? Like
Funny enough, it actually had I even got into it way before you and I were a thing.
Mm-hmm.
Just I used to have like a group of friends that we used to skate a lot. Got into like Jackass and Viva La Bam, and our one buddy, he had like a really, really just anytime we were there, there's always something happening in that house. Always something dark or always seeing someone in a doorway, and we were like 13. We're like, oh, let's go get a camcorder. Let's go up in the attic.
Camcorder.
Yeah, like a little shitty camcorder. And oh, am I allowed to curse?
yeah.
Okay, sorry. I didn't even I didn't even ask.
Yeah. Yep.
Open mouth, insert foot.
No. Yep, you can.
Okay, cool. But yeah, and it was funny. I wish I could go find the footage because we actually got like a little shadow running across the ceiling.
Oh, that's cool.
I'm like, oh, this is really cool. So, and actually watching Ghost Hunters and Ghost Adventures and stuff kind of spawned all that.
Mhm.
And then fast forward to, a bunch of experiences in between all that, and then that's how you and I kind of got talking
Mm-hmm.
to begin with before we started dating, and then we got into creating the YouTube channel Beyond the Walls. Saw some pretty cool places doing that, and
That was
then
fun. Yeah.
this awesome show that we're a part of, which I'm grateful for.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah. Hi, Megan. Hi, Nick. They're jumping in and saying hi. Yeah. I mean,
Matt, I do.
What do you say?
Fred, you need too much editing.
Yeah.
It's my life.
Yeah, we started well, I don't know. I feel kind of like which your sister lives in Point Phillips, which is how her sister lives on Capella Road in Point Phillips. It's so crazy.
That's
Yeah.
wild.
Yeah, and it wasn't that I was necessarily he grew up in a house that was really active. Mine wasn't, but the area, it was I didn't realize it was different. I didn't realize that it wasn't the normal stuff. I would have a lot of really strange dreams. I would astral project, and everybody in the neighborhood had a spooky story. And then when I moved out of there, I think I was 20, and I realized people kind of look at me like, what are you talking about? This doesn't happen everywhere. So it was just the area I grew up in was very active. And so I always felt like I was really attached to the paranormal, but I was raising my boys and working and busy, and I just couldn't do anything. So when we met, it was actually perfect timing because my youngest was 10, I think, at the time. And I was actually able to leave him home and go do stuff for the first time in a lot of years. And we both just started the channel, and it was, I don't know, we were just kind of flying by the seat of our pants. We didn't know what we were doing. We were in Gettysburg multiple times and
in a lightning storm.
On the battlefield.
So cool. I was there one time during a thunderstorm too, and it was phenomenal.
The battlefields just illuminate.
Just light up.
It almost it puts you back to what it would have looked and sounded like.
Yeah,
the guns and the cannons and the flashes and everything.
Did you see that?
Yeah.
What the heck was that? I mean, it's probably dust, but anyway.
Well,
We're both
Lord.
like
it
light,
was
light anomaly. Sorry.
it was crazy. It was one of my. I just sat up on top of Devil's Den in my car,
Oh, wow.
and you could just. I mean, you could see everything, and the lightning bolts and the thunder, and I was just like,
Yeah.
this is what it sounded like in 1863.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So,
it's great. We actually heard, was that Culp's Hill? We heard the gunshots.
oh
I
my
think it
gosh,
was
Hope's
Hill.
Hill, we
Yeah.
heard
Horse
right
trotting.
up there too. Yeah.
Mhm. Yep, and we had a camera going, and when we did footage review, you could hear like horses like it was quick,
Yeah.
but we weren't moving or trotting anywhere, you know.
Yeah, Culp's Hill. We heard. I was with SRS Paranormal, Matt Storage and Al and Al James, and we're sitting there, and we're like, that's gunshot. Like we couldn't believe we could hear it. A little round top. I heard the muster, like that muster, like the
Oh,
drum.
no way.
What's
Oh,
that
that's
called?
cool.
You know what I'm talking about? That.
Yeah, I
like
don't know what
the-
it's called,
the-
but I know what
the-
you mean.
But
You're
yeah,
a drummer. He drums too. It's another one of his things that he does.
I forget what that drum is called, but it's like.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, it's quick. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
That was
that's dope.
a snare
That's
drum, right?
Hi, everybody. We
Yeah,
see you.
yeah, you're using like a snare drum roll or whatever that they did
Yeah.
before
so
battle.
cool. That's what's great about being out on the battlefields, because you can generally have like, no one around you for noise distortion. And so when you hear something, it's legit because you're hearing it. I think the only time I heard the gunshots was Culp's Hill. I think that's
I think so.
Me too.
Yeah.
Me too. Yeah.
Yeah, that's real. And so we just kind of kept going from there. But then the channel, it got a little hard to keep up with. The editing, which he can tell you about, takes a lot. And it was like, it was getting to be like we were trying to post like every week or every 2 weeks, and it was like we were burning ourselves out. But it was still worth it. I mean, I might start posting on it again. I'm toying with that. I don't know, because I don't know what I'm doing.
So Matt wants you to talk about what you did at Wilson Castle.
Aw, thank you, Matt. I filmed with Matt with Dark Echoes. Oh my gosh.
How long ago was that? That was a while
It
ago.
was a year ago. I think in October it would have been a year. And I didn't know where I was going. His show is about taking the mediums there, and they don't know. They don't know where they're going. And when you get closer to the location, you get blindfolded. And I was very nervous because I consider myself more clairvoyant. Like I don't communicate back and forth, with the dead. I don't do that. Information just kind of comes to me, but it doesn't always come to me well. Sometimes it comes great and other times it doesn't. So I was nervous. And I had picked up on, I'd seen somebody fall. I had seen a man like I just describe it as like a painter's uniform, like overalls. So I had mentioned that. And there was a decent amount of stuff that I picked up on there. There's a child up in the attic. And so that was really fun. And I was so nervous. And Matt kind of, how I work is I don't have anyone questioning me. I just sit there and wait. And so He's like, do you feel anything over here? And I'm like, shit, am I supposed to feel? It's like you have like a camera.
Yeah.
And then you have and Scarlett, she's like probably smaller than you, holding this huge like Johnny Five looking thing. And then there's like this light, and I'm just like, I don't know. But I guess I did pretty good. I found out later on. So that was a good time. Unfortunately, for whatever reason, the episode couldn't air, but I did pretty good. But I don't do well under pressure like that. So Matt had a lucky day. So yeah. But so we've just kind of we film, and then there's footage review, and then I dump it on him, and you can talk about what that's like.
Hi. My turn. Yeah, no, she it's nice because Sarah knows, like, she knows exactly what I look for with footage review and everything. My little OCD brain.
Well, because of the channel, we did a lot for the channel.
Yeah.
So.
Trying to figure out how to make it as like a cohesive story with each investigation, the flow and everything, while having like 4 or 5 stationaries at one point. Multiple like 2-3 teams of us each having a camera,
and then
people
Lawrence.
always farting. That was always
People farting.
Were we talking about the channel?
No,
We're
I
still
was
talking about the channel.
No, I was talking about 24
When did we
hours
start
in
talking
hell.
about 24 hours in hell?
My
Well,
brain
whatever.
was there. I don't know. Yeah, there was people farting on our channel, not on 24 hours.
It was always a thing. It was like a common thing. Like every investigation, someone always
Listen,
had.
everybody has a fart on record.
Oh my god!
Everybody does. I have one. It's the funniest shit ever. I keep it. It makes me laugh when I listen to it.
Well, that spawned our funny moments.
Yeah. No, we had one in Penhurst. It was the third. You know which one I'm talking about.
I know exactly.
The third floor of Mayflower. It just boomed. It wasn't me. It wasn't one of our friends, Jake. It just boomed through the whole floor. It just.
No one is gonna ghost hunt with us.
We're fun to be around. I don't care.
I can't wait to ghost hunt with you guys.
Oh my god, yeah. I think I have a little ADD too. I get a little crazy. We have this weird thing. I think because we live together and we've been together how long? I don't
Almost
even know.
7 years.
We just have like go in different directions. Like we get on an investigation and he's over there and I'm over here and you know, it's like
I mean, that's awesome. Like you guys share the same passion, but you're able to separate yourselves when you're doing it. If you know what I mean, which is good. Like you know what I mean. You can be separated. You know what I mean.
Sometimes it's for the better because I just might choke on
Absolutely
around me too.
She will.
But yeah, so now we get into the 24 hours.
Yeah. So you guys do the editing. Now, is that something that Fred, you like doing, and that's why or is it just something that you decided that this was going to be my job and I'm going to learn how to do it and teach myself how to do it and get better and better?
I love it.
You love the editing part.
Like, yeah. I love like before her and I started dating, like me and my friends would mess around on like video games and stuff, doing just dumb things, messing around with each other and creating. I know, I love it. Creating little clips just to make people laugh and like just funny little edit always had me loving it, I guess, just the creative process of it. And then being able to do what we did in 24 Hours in Hell, which like I'm the most proud of out of everything I've ever done, is like that. Just my favorite. I know. I'm trying not. That's why I'm looking down. I can't. I'll get distracted. I'll get distracted.
We all have ADD.
Yeah, so I really want to give a Jing earlier said hello. I just want to let you guys know she's in Indonesia, so we're being watched in Indonesia right now. So that's
okay.
Oh, neat. Hi.
Sadly, it doesn't exist anymore.
Oh, you got rid of the gaming stuff.
Yeah.
It might have been a little too spicy for his move forward and like, can you get me my drink? Thank you for asking, though.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
So you enjoy doing all that stuff. Yeah. It's so funny. Everything I do is raw. Like there is no editing whatsoever. Like not even audio. Like I can clip the EVPs, like clip him, but there is, how sometimes people adjust to get like so you can hear better or not, whatever they do. I won't do it. I'm too afraid. I'm too afraid I'm gonna fuck it up. I'd rather it be how it is. Even pictures.
That's fair.
Even pictures, like I'm too afraid I'm gonna mess it up, and I don't know what I'm doing, so I just leave it the way it is. I don't mess with it. Nothing. Not that I have that many pictures, but my EVPs are what you hear is what is what you heard. You know what I mean?
EVPs are hard because even when he has to enhance them, like for the show, for example, it's difficult because you get like that. What is it, like background noise? I guess a lot of times you get.
Audio's tough. Audio's
that's what I love. Audio. I do love EVPs listening. Like I have 6 or 7 recorders. I put them out the entire time we're investigating.
So that's your go-to piece.
Yeah.
Yep. I like audio. I like it all. I like everything. I like old school stuff. I like dowsing rods. I like things that light up. I think my favorite, if I had to pick a favorite, I think it would be like just hearing footsteps, hearing knocking. I think that's I don't know.
Anything clairaudient or anything you can hear, anything like that to me that's why I'm not into like the spirit boxes and the things that make noises, because I can sometimes hear.
Yeah.
I would rather hear it or hear
Yeah.
it like just raw through a recorder than hear it through and I'm not knocking anybody that uses them.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's just for me, I prefer quiet.
It's your preference.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
we would always do a quiet when we would go out and do our channel, we'd have like, okay, everybody just sit quiet for the next 10 minutes and just listen.
We never could.
I
So
know.
are you guys still doing the channel?
It's still up, but
what's the channel so people can go check it out? Some of your videos.
Yeah, it's Beyond the Walls Paranormal.
Or I think it's just Beyond the Walls.
Is it?
Yeah.
I thought it was paranormal. I would always type paranormal in it because I think there's.
I think it would pop up if you type that in, but I think it's just Beyond the Walls.
I think if you type the paranormal, it comes up, because if you don't, you get that other. There's something else that comes up that's not even like paranormal related that'll pop up. But yeah, and I would like to just not run it like we ran it before, because that was a lot of work, but just like the investigations that were going on and coming up, taking clips of evidence and still sort of sharing it, but just in a less like, I don't know, constructed way, I guess. Because, there was a lot before B-roll and music and all this stuff, but just.
What's B-roll? I don't know what that means when people say that.
So
I hear everybody say that. And I don't know what it means. And I've never really asked anybody because I didn't want to feel stupid. But now I'm asking.
So, like for example, in like Ghost Adventures, whenever they do like a shot like coming into a doorway that has like no one in there, just like spooky ambiance shots.
Okay.
That's how I like to use the B-roll.
Or like the outside of the building, and it's like a rolling image.
So you're not filming people talking and this and that. You're just kind of like giving like a setup of the location or whatever. Or I get it.
Whatever, usually it's used for like ambiance, and even like when you're interviewing somebody, getting a sweeping shot like underneath them looking up or something, just
makes it more entertaining, easy on the eyes, I guess, right?
Yeah. Well, that's part of being a content creator, right? Like, I mean, doing stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right.
Making it engaging and easy on the eyes, and because people's attention spans are tiny nowadays, so you gotta keep them engaged.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So you all right? I interrupted because I wanted to know what B-roll was. So what were you saying? You were saying about he was doing B-roll.
Oh, what was I talking about? Oh, I know what I was saying. Okay, so like if I start putting evidence back on the channel, it would be like in a less like structured form, just like, hey, this is a quick history of this, like Penhurst, for example, and this is the evidence from our investigation on such and such a date, rather than like we had it more like a mini show almost, I guess, kind of. It was like kind of like a little mini show, and it just took a lot of work, and now he's got other projects he wants to be working on, so I have to go to him. I won't know what I'm doing. It's bad, but I think I can learn. I think I can learn eventually. So, yeah.
Well, so how did you guys start thinking about, how long have you been filming for 24 hours now? I don't know what you can talk about and what you can't talk about. When does it come out?
Yeah, it's okay. So right now we can't really say too much, but it has been given to, is it producers? I don't know, because he's the one that does it.
It's been sent out to. I'm trying to be careful.
Yeah.
Don't say anything. I don't want you. To say anything.
The feelers are out. How about that? The feelers are out.
Yeah.
And that's.
So as soon as we know anything, we'll let everybody know. But we filmed our first 24 hours. It was a year ago in January.
God, that was a tough.
So it's going to be like a series. So it's going to be like a series of different episodes.
Yeah. Okay. There's 2 episodes to each filming. Because real evidence. You got to film for a long time. So we're there.
24 straight hours.
It is 24 hours, and Lawrence and Corey did great. We should give them a shout out with their
Lawrence
filming and
was
their
somewhere in there. I saw him.
Their B-roll. And.
And Corey too. Yeah, they both kicked ass.
So we would separate it into like 2 parts because it's 24 hours, and there was a lot that a lot that came out, and we got some really, really good evidence. But it was 4 different times that we filmed for 24 hours. So should be
Straight
8 episodes, but we'll
through.
see. We'll see what happens. But yeah, and then if you want to talk a little bit about the behind the scenes with that, with the editing.
Yeah. I'm just thankful that, like, because I have a horror brain, so I have such a good idea of like a shot and anything like that, and I'll be like, hey Angie, help me come up with this, and she'll actually help me bring it to life. So I got to kind of go nuts with some things on the show in terms of like oh, I saw this in a horror movie.
No, it's all right.
Like, oh, I saw this in a horror movie, I can create this with some other stuff, and she's just like helped me go nuts.
Yeah. So him and I would sit down. I would get the footage review, or we'd get it from whoever else was reviewing, and we would kind of like try to think of how would this look good on a show, like how would this interest people to stay hooked, because everybody says like, I want real is sitting there for hours, and no one's going to watch someone sit there for hours trying to get evidence. They're just not. So it's like, how do we
engage it?
Yeah, get key, which B-roll, music, transitions. We had a lot of cast members that were, we had rotating guests, and so it was a lot, and we were able to sort of keep it interesting. But then we would take what we created and hand it over to the other co-creators, and then they would fix things, change things, add things, take things away, whatever. And so it was a group effort. Yeah.
So the other co-creators would say, okay, I don't want this in here, I want this, and let's do it this way. And then it would go back to you, and then Fred would then edit it the way that they want it. Okay, I see.
Yeah, so it's a lot of back and forth.
Yeah. So it takes a long time. I mean, it's not, it's not, anything. So without giving away, this is a hard question, and it's going to be a hard answer, because I'm going to say, without giving any of the show away, how was it spending 24 hours there 4 times? Like, did the energy ever shift from the first time to the 4th time?
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, how was that? I mean, I know you can't really tell too much about, but like,
no, it's okay. Yeah.
Whatever you feel comfortable with.
Yeah. I know I'm trying to watch how I say it, but the second time we filmed, in between there and the 3rd time, was kind of crazy.
Yeah.
Just the 2nd time alone. Like, oh my God, that was...
I think a lot had to do with our special guest, Blue Bodie, who came out. She's very spiritual, and I just think that they just...
Yeah.
It started.
And then... and Jimmy J. The mouthpiece of the Northeast, that's what he calls himself, and it explains this man to a T. After filming, me and him got like really close, and I'm now partnering up with his group, which is Horror 365. Anybody wants to go follow them, I think they're going to be going live tonight as well on Facebook. Great. Yeah, they're awesome. Same with Lawrence from Mondo Docs. We're all kind of gathering up and doing stuff. But man, Jimmy, he doesn't need caffeine to be just bouncing off the walls.
There is something to be said for people that are rowdy in spiritual activity. Between him and Santi, God bless Santiago's soul for coming down and dealing with them. Between the two of them,
it was great. It was great.
It's a lot, yeah. But he's right though. That second filming was very active. But what's neat about the Waldorf is that it does respond differently to who's in there.
Mm-hmm.
For whatever reason, I can't, like I say, give too much away, but there's something to be said for that. And I do think if people are super skeptical too, it decreases activity, because I've noticed that people that kind of have a shield up and they're like, I need solid, like, you better show in front of me and throw something off the wall. They
Rip
don't
my spine out.
Yeah, they don't respond as much to that.
Well, if you do, follow what you say, your theory is that it responds to the person's energy. I mean, the energy from the people.
Yeah.
So if you're going in there and you don't believe at all.
Mm-hmm.
Although I wish sometimes, You're like, oh, you don't believe. That would be me as a ghost. Oh, you don't believe in me?
I know.
Okay.
I know. It's frustrating because you want, that thing to happen. Yeah.
Let's play.
Yeah.
I feel like that's like Penhurst.
I love Penhurst.
We do too. Oh my God.
I love Penhurst.
Yeah.
But I am drawn to Rockwell Tunnel. I would stay in Rockwell Tunnel if I had the run of the place, and I would stay in Rockwell Tunnel the entire time.
So what is it about that tunnel that makes you like want to be in there?
I always hear disembodied voices, and I get it confirmed on the recorders. Like it gets caught on the recorder. So I'm being an EVP. And it doesn't matter if you're there by yourself or you're with a group of people. So I've volunteered and worked at all the Penhurst Paracons since the first one. And one of the first, it was either the first one or the second one, where we were each assigned, a place where we would take a group of like 25 people down. And one of the groups I took down there, I would always go to the opening and let everybody else go in front of me. And then to make sure everybody was in, you know what I mean?
Okay. Yeah.
So everybody went in, and there was one girl the last one walked in with me.
Oh no, she froze.
The suspense.
Come back to us, Taryn. Where'd you go? Right at the height of the damn story.
I know.
Well, I'm Sarah from Paranormal. There you are. You're back. Right there, it froze when you were. Look, she's froze again. Oh no, that's her, right? That's not us.
I don't think so.
Anyway, I'm Sarah from Paranormal Brew, and she's
the paranormal on the brew.
We have the skeleton named Taryn that's not moving. Wait, let's read the comments while she. Oh,
that's why I love Rockwell Tunnel. What happens in Rockwell stays in Rockwell.
Clearly, we're not supposed to hear about it.
Apparently.
Oh my God.
All right.
Wow.
Anyway.
No, continue. I want to hear this.
I don't know what you last heard.
Nothing after someone went in front of you. That's all we heard.
And me and the last girl walked in together. Rockwell Tunnel, when you look to the left, you can see the wall. You can see the end of the tunnel.
Okay.
To the right, it goes on for like 2,500 feet. It feels like.
So you're coming down on the end of it.
So we're coming down. Yeah. Well, that's where they had us going in. So we're going in where you look to this one side and you can see. So anyway, we heard what sounded like a heel. She takes she was like on it. She took a picture, the girl that was there with me. And we didn't like look. She didn't look at it then. We just kept on walking. I walked down to the end, and we heard like what sounded like a psych scream at one point while we were down there. And I was like, put the flashlight on everybody. I was like, listen, what if somebody did that? The thing is it sounded like it came from the other end. Like if somebody screamed like that in our group, we would have known it came from our group.
Yep.
But anyways, afterwards, the girl comes running up to me and she goes, look at this picture I got. And it's literally an outline of a woman. Like,
oh my gosh.
And then after that, other groups that went in, people were saying all day long, they were hearing heels walking.
Yeah.
They heard a woman's, it was crazy. Rockwell had me on day one.
Rockwell had you at hello.
Right. Rockwell had me at the heel tab. I was like, what?
You know what? Rockwell, honestly, we've heard those.
Yeah,
and
we've
Tony,
got the heel
Tony from IPR. I got to call Megan out. Megan, I hope you're still watching. I got to call her out. So we always go with IPR. Okay. With Interstate Paranormal, we go every year to Penhurst. It's like our thing. And we got put in a group with Megan, and she's just the sweetest thing in the world. And I'm like, oh God, we're gonna tarnish her now because she's just so.
Before she keeps going, any time we've gone out ghost hunting, we always try to push ourselves to go do solos to see how far you can go.
Yeah.
Just to.
Yeah. So we were like,
for poor Megan.
Yeah, we're like, we're gonna do solos in Rockwell. And I'll tell you, I was a lot more scared when I was doing it than I thought I would be, because I've been down there and I hear a lot of, I've heard all that stuff.
Yeah.
But I've never, like, I've had someone right in my ear in Mayflower. I've had more experiences elsewhere. But when I went down, like we went down the ramp, that part where you go into like the double doors there, and everyone just sat there. And so when I went through, I think there's another set of double doors, right? And then it kind of goes to the right. When you cross that threshold and you make that right-hand turn and you're like in the pitch black, I heard right, like scurrying, like right up next to me, like I know. And then I was like, why the F did I agree to do this? But I'm in it now. So I went down and I stood at the end for a little bit. And when I did the footage review, I didn't do all the footage review, but I did a little bit. You hear a woman cackle laughing, like like a witch. Wow. So then, you know, he went down, a couple people go down, and then we gave Megan the camera.
Poor Megan.
She's like, I'm gonna try. She's like, I'm gonna try. And when she got to the doors, she was like, nope, I can't. She turned around and she came back. She was like, nope. But this year, we got Tony wanting to do solos. Hi, Casey. Fred's solo walk. Yeah, Casey did it.
Yeah, Casey was there for that.
So Holly's in the UK. Thanks for watching, Holly.
Hi, Holly.
She said it's awesome hearing about the paranormal activity you guys get in the US. I'm from the UK, so probably sadly we'll never get to visit half of the awesome places you are talking about. Listen, never say never.
Yeah, we want to go to the UK. That's so funny how they want to come here.
It's not that out of reach. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not out of reach.
Yeah.
We went on a cruise. We went to Italy. We went to 9 different countries in 10 days.
Oh my God.
On a cruise. Wow. For less than what a family of 4 spend to go to Disney World for a week.
Wow.
We got to look into that.
I'm serious.
Yeah, no, I really want, I want to go to Ireland. I want to go to Switzerland. I want to go to the UK.
Like the best thing to do. Like, I'm telling you, oh my God, it was the best.
The building, whenever I see anything in the UK, like shows or whatever, like with, you know, haunted stories, the buildings are so beautiful and so old.
I mean, let's be honest, the UK has a lot better haunted places than I love the United States. Don't get me wrong. And I love the things that we have here. And I think, but the UK has some castles and all kinds of.
I was gonna say, like, everything is so, like, I don't know, it just looks medieval. Yeah, it's great.
They have Transylvania. They got Dracula's castle. Like, come on.
Yeah.
Megan said, I knew what you were gonna say. You're doing it this year, Megan. And Tony's funny because Tony, you know, he runs his group like a tight ship. And he doesn't play a lot, but we play. And so he's like, I think I'm going to do the solo this year. I'm just like, yeah.
I'm going to go into Devon basement by myself.
That's another story, but not me. I will not. I won't go in any of the basements by myself. And not for fear of anything terrible happening, but just because to me, they're very overwhelming. Like, I get a lot of, you got affected, all right. Not affected in a bad way, but.
So energy. I'm sorry, but I would never do. I did the mine in Jersey with John Ruggiero and Chris.
Oh, okay.
And John made us split up. I almost peed my pants.
Were you by yourself?
I was like, because he could see, he was standing like, so the mine kind of like forks off a little bit, you know?
Yeah.
And he sent like me down this one tunnel, and sent Jossie, my friend, one of the peaches, down another tunnel. And we have flashlights and stuff. And he's like, all right, Taryn, go down there. So I'm going, and it's getting darker. And darker. And so I stop and I have my flashlight out like this. And he goes, go back further. I'm like, okay. And I left this leg. I hope he isn't watching this, but I left this leg where it was, and I just kind of like scurried over this way. So he thought I went down further.
Well, how you said it was a cave or a mine, right? So how big was your area to walk through? I mean,
oh my God, it's huge. It's called the Sterling Mine. Yeah, it's called the Sterling Mine. It's in
I've heard of it.
Oh yeah,
I've heard of Sterling.
North Jersey. Yeah. It's phenomenal. It's the first time I ever did a a mine, and it is echoey. You have to keep that in mind. But it also, you can, when you do EVPs the way that John investigates really, really, really well and clever. I learned a lot just from investigating with him that one night. But the way we did the EVPs and everything, like the bursts, you can tell the difference between an echo or whatever, and then with the EVPs. So it was good. I don't know why did we start talking about this?
Solos and holes. I don't know.
Oh, because I went down and had to do that solo by myself. Yeah, I'm not a big. I was left at Hinsdale House by myself for 2 hours.
Oh, I mean, I've never been there, but the kind of I've heard stories. I don't know if I'd like that very much.
When I was there by myself, nothing happened.
Wow,
really?
Not a noise, nothing.
Well, I think they knew you were scared, and they're like, let's leave her alone for a little bit.
I was like investigating, and I'm like, have my recorders out, and I'm like, I was like, wow. I'm like, this place is totally not what I thought it was. I was afraid of it too because of the stories I've heard. But
yeah. I've never been there, but when I see pictures, I don't know. The land kind of gives me a weird feeling, but I don't know.
100%, girl. 100%. That's all I'll say.
It's like around it, behind it. Like I wouldn't want to be outside, especially at night. That's
bingo. Wow. Bingo.
Oh, I was right.
Remind me to tell you what happened to me outside at night. I'm never going outside at night there ever again. I don't care what. We're going in April. My girls, they can go outside. I'm saying inside.
Yeah, I can't wait to hear that story. Yeah, we've had a lot of activity at Pennhurst, and
oh man,
I think the best EVP we got was when we left the infirmary. Goodbye, clear as day. Or not infirmary.
No. Well,
yeah. Is that
the infirmary we were leaving? We were saying goodbye, and we had a little kid saying goodbye.
Yeah.
And then the other one that I thought was good, the third floor Mayflower.
Mm-hmm.
We hear clear as day a whole sentence that says "play music."
Yeah, a child.
Little kid, yeah.
But we found out later that a lot of people put like music boxes up in that like little area. I forget how we found that out, but somehow we did. And so
I think from Tony.
So I think like he was expecting. I think it was a little boy spirit that was up there. I think he was expecting some type of music. Megan Hinsdale, we're here to scream. Oh my Lord!
I'm telling you what, the outside is not fun. I'm with Kristen. I don't like, especially with the woods. So we literally, when we were outside, it was me, Megan, and our friend Kelly, and it was just the three of us out there. But I had the FLIR, we had the night vision goggles, we had the FLIR, we had flashlights, and I made us have all of our backs to each other. So we had like a 360. I don't know.
That is so smart. It's so smart.
I was like not playing around.
Yeah, it's scary at night being outside. I'm with Kristen on that. Megan heard drumming. Oh my God. No, see, I'd be too scared. I can't. Some places
I wouldn't be going to check it out. That's how a horror movie starts.
Yeah, and you know that.
I watched too many, and I would still go look.
That reminded me of Jimmy in the basement when we were filming.
Which time?
So
where he says pants are going to turn brown?
I can't say too much, but let's put it this way. Jimmy, who's one of our special guests for the show, and he's a horror 365 guy, and I said I'll be right back. And he was already really nervous. He says, "Oh yeah, I'll be right back." That's what they say in these fucking movies. It was so great to have someone so scared. It was great.
I know.
Yes, Kristen, we are Bigfooting.
Yes.
The thrill of it. We're all going to be what Taryn said in a circle jerk.
Yeah, no. I'm going to be literally holding on to you two like the grip death of life, like grip of death. Like I'm just going to be like, no. I can't do this.
It's gonna be scary.
I don't want to go in the woods. No.
Bows and arrows. No, I'm kidding. We have bear mace. That's all we need. We don't need bows.
Bear mace is good. I like bear mace.
People mace and bear mace, and I think we'll be good.
I mean, do you really need people mace? If you have bear mace, you could
spray
a person.
Does it work on people? Hey, it might not work on people.
I don't want to find out.
I'll just mace one of my sons and let you know. No, I'm kidding.
So Holly brings up, I would love to go to the Conjuring house, but that's a pipe dream at this point. Yeah, it's sad what's happened with that.
That was on our bucket list too.
So yeah, I've never been.
Oh, you've never been there?
No, I've never been to the Conjuring House.
Wow. I would have thought you would
We
have.
just went, but I wasn't allowed to go because of my job at the time. COVID just
Oh.
started, and you weren't allowed to travel to other states. And if you did, you had to quarantine. And my boss was like, if you go, I can't promise you have a job when you get back.
Wow. I kind of forgot about that, like leaving the state and having to quarantine.
Yeah, I forgot
Oh
that
my
was a thing.
gosh. Yeah. Wow.
So unfortunately, I did not get to go, but it's okay.
Fortunately, or maybe unfortunately, who knows?
Right. Anyway, back to now. Are you for 24 Hours in Hell? Are you? Do you call it Hell House? Is the haunted attraction, or Hell House is the movie? So, are you guys? Do you refer to it as Waldorf, or you refer to it as Hell House?
So, well, Waldorf is like the name of it, like the actual name of the building.
Right.
And then, sometimes people call it Hell House because of the Hell House movies. So they kind of run with it.
But it is Waldorf Estate of Fear.
Yeah, it is, and that's what the haunt is named.
Yeah.
That's the name. Sorry, yeah.
Okay. So
Waldorf
Waldorf Estate of Fear is the
Yeah.
haunted attraction.
Yes. Sorry.
No,
I got those all mixed up.
No, yeah,
So
totally.
you would refer to it as Hell House then, because it's similar to, you guys, even it's like you're doing not a horror film, but like Hell House, but you're doing the paranormal side of it.
Yeah. And honestly, we went in there mostly because of you, because he's a horror movie buff, and he was like so annoying that night because he just wanted to be in there because the movie.
Oh wait, the first time we investigated
Yeah.
it? Yeah. I was like a kid in a candy shop. I'm like,
my
oh, that's
God.
where this character
Well,
died.
that's the thing. I've never seen the movies. I'm not a horror person. I'm more of like I like to watch all of like the extra like the Reich and like the Pope's Exorcist and little exorcism movies and stuff like that.
Devil shit.
Yeah, I like that.
She goes in hard.
I like that, or I like the ghosty movies, like oh my god, the others with Nicole Kidman.
Oh,
or
that's a good one. That is such a good one.
Dragonfly, Chemicals, like those
Mhm.
ghosty movies.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I like the ghosty movies too.
The gore horror shit.
It's hard, right? He doesn't get. I can't. I feel it when someone's guts are laying out. I get like nauseated.
It's so cool.
And he's there like, yeah, and I'm like, oh my god.
It's so cool. Casper, fucking mad.
Yeah.
What did he say, Casper?
Yeah.
It's probably the light. Matthias, Kondrakas, be quiet over there. I got names for everybody. I don't have one for Taryn yet.
Yeah,
I'll come up one. I know. I have to meet her in person, and then it'll just come naturally. But yeah, like I don't know. I can't with too much gore. It's a little hard for me to watch, but
it's cool.
We find a way. I mean, I'll watch like the old school stuff, like the Freddy Kruegers and the Screams, but some of these newer horror movies, oh my god.
No, I can't do it. I saw the first Saw, and I was done. You know what ruined? I'm going to tell you guys what ruined it for me, because I used to be able to watch horror movies.
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember which one it was, but it was one of the Texas Chainsaw Massacres. The one that had Jessica Biel in it.
I know which one you're talking about.
That messed me up for like 3 weeks.
Oh,
that was the remake or one of the.
Now, when you say messed you up, you mean you were like thinking about it, like in your head?
I couldn't eat pizza. I couldn't eat soup. I literally when I was watching it, I was like back and forth, like, oh my god, like I was having like almost an anxiety attack watching it, and that was it. I was like,
yeah.
F these horror movies. I can't watch this shit anymore.
Not just me. I'm telling you, I get like that with I can't, like, I'll watch some exorcism, some of those, but if it's too much, I actually feel like I'll start to feel sick. I don't really know why that happens, but that started a couple years ago, because I used to be able to watch that stuff too. But I think as I opened up more, and I've had some experiences that were not pleasant, and so I kind of know there is that side of things. So it like makes me like, I get anxiety and I can't watch it. But like, you just touched my foot and scared the hell out of me. Jesus Christ! I don't know if you saw me look down. I was like, I know there's not a cat in here. Like, what the hell was that? But like, I used to get before I properly protected my home and did my own energy stuff, I used to get horrid nightmares. Like, I mean, I woke up one time where I was actually physically being held down in bed. And I was looking at my hand, like trying to like pull my hand off the mattress. Like I used to go through stuff like that. And now you would laugh if you'd see our room. I have like this symbol, that symbol, this statue, that statue. I got freaking shit. I got salt
No,
around.
I think that's cool. I like seeing stuff like that. Like that, and because it's like with Stevie, like Stevie has like this cool background to her when she does her shows.
Yeah.
And it's like so arty. It's so
yeah.
artsy.
She has cool stuff. I know what you're talking
so I love that. So like when you
Yeah.
put stuff together like that, I think it literally gives so much character to
and it's protection, you know. And I have my St. Michael and I have my little white lights, and he's seen stuff in our room already, you know, I think too many investigations without cleansing properly.
Yeah.
You know.
And then you put mugwort under the bed.
Stop it with that now.
I'm telling that story every time this comes
up.
Every time these come up, I'm telling that like that has to come up every time. I don't care. It's funny.
When I first, and actually it's funny because that bag came from Gettysburg, so it is kind of funny. So when I first started dabbling in the witchcraft, I didn't know what the hell I was doing. Like I was reading books and I was trying, but you get most of your knowledge by screwing up, just like everything else, you know? So, I get this, I don't remember the name of the shop. Sage and Lavender, maybe? There's a shop down there that has herbs in it. Do they have herbs in the back? Is that the one?
Yeah, they have a couple, but yes, you are right. One of them is called Sage and Lavender.
That one, it was that one. And I was just like, oh, I'm going to get all this stuff. I was like a kid in a candy shop. I was so happy. I got this bag of mugwort, and I knew that it enhances dreams, and I know that it's good for the third eye and, you know, certain things, but it also has a calming effect. Like you can use it like people use sage. So I didn't really have a plan. I was just like, I'm buying all this stuff. And I put the mugwort under the bed, not in a container, just in a bag. You're supposed to seal away your witchy stuff. And I was just like, well, we don't have the biggest house, so stuff gets under the bed and gets stored there. Well, he was having like it was on his side of the bed. And I was not putting two and two together. And he's like, I don't know what is wrong with me. I am having bizarre dreams. And he's not one, like he doesn't talk about this stuff, you know? Like a bomb could go off in the house and he'd still be sleeping. Right. So, and then
it was a week straight of the weirdest freaking dreams. Just
wow, that's crazy.
My mentor at the time was like, "Where are you keeping your mugwort?" I'm like, "Under my bed." She's like, "Where?" I'm like, "Under my bed." She's like, "No." She's like, "What are you doing?" So I moved it. Problem fixed. But yeah, we've had some things over the years. But this is like where we live here is very active too, because there's
my sister's house is haunted.
And she's the one on Capella?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm telling you what, I'm standing there and I'm so mad at her husband because he heard it when it happened. And I ask him every time and he's like, I don't remember. I'm like, how can you not remember that? We both heard it. Like a woman's voice, clear as day. I can't remember. I don't know what she said, but
wow.
and I looked at him. I was like, did you hear that? He was like, yeah. I'm like, what did it say? He's like, I have no idea. I'm like, I don't know either, but that was like, she was standing like right in between us.
Wow. Wow.
And it was crazy, but yeah, that house is crazy. It's an old house.
That area, I always use the terminology that the veil is very thin there. I don't know why, but like all of us kids had like experiences. I started having extremely vivid nightmares, like in my early teen, like 12, 13 years old. And I was terrified to be outside at night. Terrified. Nothing ever happened to me, but I just knew there was stuff there. And then we did the documentary and wound up talking to a bunch of people and really getting like, holy shit, you went through the same thing. You know, everybody was going through paranormal stuff. That area it's very strange. I don't know.
Yeah. She lives at the bottom, she's at the bottom of a hill, and at the top of the hill, there's I don't know if the cemetery is on her side or the opposite side. I think it's on her side. There's an old cemetery up there, and you drive down the hill. She's at the bottom of the hill, but
wait a minute. Are you talking about, because at the top of Capella Road, there's a church and there's a cemetery.
Okay, maybe that. Yeah. So she's at the bottom of that hill.
That's
the
pretty
thing,
crazy.
yeah, the thing about
That's
that
crazy.
cemetery, because Capella Road goes down then.
Yeah.
What's really crazy is, so that cemetery that's across the street, there's two parts to it. There's the really old part. You can't even pull in and park anywhere. And you go down farther and it's the newer part. And this is a true story. This you can actually find online. This is a true story. When, I don't have the dates in my head at the moment, but there was a major battle there between the Lenape tribes and, white man.
Right.
And there was a lot that had happened that pushed the Native Americans out, but then they came back. And when they came back, they lit Moore Township up. I mean, burned things down. I mean, there was a all out, they had the property owners, the major property owners at that time were scalped. Like it was a big thing. And they actually kidnapped a young woman. I think she was like probably 18. She was really young. They kidnapped her and they took her, but they brought her back. And she was pregnant when they brought her back. And she had the baby, ironically, named the baby Sarah. So it was half indigenous, half European. And she died probably, back then crib death was a pretty normal thing. She was the first burial in that cemetery.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep.
Wow.
And I have tried to find her stone, but there's so many there that you can't even read them.
That's a shame.
Yeah. Excuse me. But that's a true story. And that was the first burial over there.
Wow. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
My sister, I think it's how you guys started talking. She was like, she saw your video or something, didn't she?
She was like, I recognize you from the documentary. I was like, cool.
Is that weird? Isn't that weird? Like
my little claim to fame. Yeah.
Well, like she's not really into she used to meet her. She was one of the people I first ghost hunted with. You know what I mean? But she's not into it. Like, you know what I mean? She doesn't know this world. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So small world, right?
Yeah, that's so crazy.
I want to say, Holly saying there's a famous case over here in Yorkshire at a house called 30 East Drive. There was a movie made about it called When the Lights Go Out. That sounds creepy. I've been to the house a few times. They have the movie on repeat in the living room. I stayed in why did it cut off there? I stayed in a little girl's room where the spirit was meant to have attempted to have strangled her in the middle of the night with the light fixture.
Oh God.
I've heard that movie.
So they have it playing when you're in there?
I guess so.
Creepy.
That's pretty cool.
That's creepy.
I mean, and then the monkey movie. See, I can't do anything with animals. Can't even do it. I don't know what it's about.
I don't remember the premise of it. I don't think it's actually about a monkey.
No, but that
I heard it was
me. Like if I can't even watch, because most of the horror movies, there's always like an animal being killed or something like that. Like
I know, yeah.
I can't do it. I just can't.
I know. It's
Rob, my fiance is always like, it's a movie. I'm like, I don't care. Now I think in my head like that could really happen.
Yeah. No, and he's I mean, I'm that way with animals too, but I think you even more so.
I'm terrible.
His thing to do, because he doesn't like big crowds, his thing to do is when we visit people, even his own mother, he lays on the floor with the cats. He's on the floor with the cats. And I'm like, can you get off the floor?
Cats are cool.
He will.
It's so cool. Yes,
see?
I have 5.
That's his go-to thing is I'm going to just go play with the cat.
Yeah, I feel him. I'm with him too. Even at the zoo, I'm like the big cats. I gotta go see them.
They're so
I had 5 cats at one time. Now I have 3, but I had 5.
Oh, how's your kitty doing anyway? The one that had the overdose?
There's always, I mean, I think that it's finally out of him. He's walking on his paws again. And I mean,
that's good.
It was a nightmare. But
I felt so bad.
Oh my gosh, it's one thing after another with him. He's literally like, now I'm feeling like sores up around his ear. I don't know. It's like
he's old, right?
You would think he was like 22 or 23, but he's only going to be 16 in September. I mean, I guess
for cats, it's a little
cat, but that's still young. I think he's a young old. He's old.
Yeah.
I know he's old. I'm not denying he's not. You know, everybody yells at me when I say he's not old, and they're like, yes, he is. And I'm like, okay, he's old, but he's not like decrepit old.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's still
But,
getting around doing his thing, you
yeah,
know.
he's
Oh,
still, but he's he's got issues,
I'm glad
so
he's better though. I like you. Yeah, that was a lot. That's a lot. Did you have to switch vets after that? I'm assuming.
I'm going to.
Yeah, that's a lot. We had a little min pin Rocky. I miss him so much. He was such a jerk, but he was my jerk, And we had God, he was put down. It was a year ago, August. He was put down. But what was that vet we took him to? They were great. They were in Jersey.
Oh,
Um,
really?
No, this coming summer would be 3 years.
really?
Yeah. Yeah, it'd be 3 years
Oh my gosh,
in
I thought it
August.
was sooner than that. Yeah. Oh gosh, I can't remember off the top of my head where,
There's
but it
gonna
was.
be there's gonna be what I'm thinking about. There's gonna be they just announced some spirit animal spirit guy at Penhurst. I'm
I
so
saw that.
sorry that I can't. Tara cat, she does. Tara's
Her cat talks to her.
That's so funny.
I got a whole voice clip. Literally, I was like, "Oh, Taryn messaged me. What's going on?" And I just hear, "Yeah, wow, wow, wow."
I'm like, I can't make this up. I'm like, I can't make it up. Like, people have to hear this. That she does this to me.
She talks in sentences.
That's so funny.
Well, she has to hear my birds. Walter yelling every time. Every time I voice clip people, I'm like, I am so sorry about these birds. They know when I'm talking, and then and he comes around and he starts singing like a nitwit because I can't whistle and he can whistle. So
Yeah.
he'll
whistle back to me.
Yeah.
To finish off some.
Oh, that's awesome.
I get overstimulated. I'm like, stop! Everybody's whistling. But yeah. Anyway, Rocky, they were really, really good. They actually reduced my bill. I'll have to look it up and tell you, but it was right when you come from Easton into God, it was like maybe 10 minutes into New Jersey. And they were really good. And someone referred them to me. And he fought, man. He had all kinds of stuff going on. And then he had surgery and got an infection. And he said, it's not looking good. There's a name for it. Again, I don't remember, but he had an abdominal surgery and like there's an infection. If they get it, it's like 75%, death rate. He came out of it. The vet called me. It was during COVID, so I could only go during certain hours. I couldn't bring
No, I
anybody.
would have been. Oh my God, no! I would have been like literally camping outside of that place in a sleeping bag.
It was like visiting hours, and I couldn't bring anyone, so I had to go myself. And
oh my God.
yeah, and he was like, this is something that 75% of animals, when they get it, they don't recover. It's very aggressive. And he was already like 9 or almost 10. Then I'm at work the next day and I get a call and he says, well, I'm almost afraid to say this, but he looks great and he's up and he's eating. And so he survived all of that. But a year later, he wound up, his kidneys weren't working properly. And, so we wound up having him put down. But he's in here. I know he's in this house.
Yeah.
How many times we've both seen something black scurry across the floor. I'm like, he's definitely here. So
yeah, I up until recently, I've never had anything happen in my house.
Oh man.
Yeah.
There's been recent stuff happening, and
Really?
I haven't even told anybody.
Wow.
What
You want to talk about it or no?
This is the first time I haven't even told any of the peaches. I haven't said anything to anybody because I thought people would be thinking I was crazy. You know what I mean? But yeah, no.
What is
Oh my gosh.
The bird at the hairdresser. Did a bird land in your hair? What happened?
So, Kristen, yes, I was. It's good. So we have a chat, and there's a picture of me. All right, so I was out on like a mental leave from work at one point, and I was on Xanax, and I was supposed to take it like it was like on the smallest dose. You take it like once or twice a day, right?
Yeah.
I forgot I took it, and I took another. And I'm a lightweight. I don't do pills or anything like that. So like, I'm not like, I drink and, but so I forgot and I get to the hair. So I get to the hairdresser. I'm like out to lunch. Like, there's like, no. And I don't even remember this, but like I leave there and like I get a text from her. She's taking pictures of me. Well, she's got pet birds that she lets out. And
Oh.
I must have been out of it. I was like sitting back in the chair like this. With like oil in my hair and shit, and the bird's sitting on my shoulder.
And you didn't know?
Kristen, no, I had no clue what was going on. I had no clue. You can see it in my face in the picture. Like you can totally see it. I'm literally out. I'm in the outer space, and I shared the picture and now Kristen made it the picture of our group chat.
That is amazing. That is so funny.
Oh my God, I'm gonna call her Captain Taryn because like a pirate.
Oh my
God. There's her name.
Captain
Taryn.
The picture.
What kind of bird was it? Do you know?
It was one that can like, it's like a little gray, yellow one. Dude, this bird.
It might have been a cockatiel. Walter's gray and yellow.
Oh
He's real little, but this bird got out and he was out for 2 weeks while it was like cold and rainy and shit.
Outside?
Outside. It got away for like 2 to 3 weeks. They couldn't find. And then finally one day, some lady opens her door. He's on the front step. And
move.
And then they still have him. Like he's like, this was like years ago. And he's I mean, he is a beast. I was like, this bird does. I mean, like he's the coolest shit, but he's a little thing. I'll send you the picture.
It sounds like it's a cockatiel. That's what. So when Nate's dad passed away, it was a guilt buy. I felt bad, and he loves animals and especially birds. He's a bird kid. So what do? We go again. It's in Jersey, World of Birds. We go into the World of Birds, and I drop like $690 some because he's like 400, and then the cage and all this food. So that was my pity purchase for my son. Matt is taking over P. You don't want to take over P. You don't want to be in PA. But anyway, so we got this bird, and he was like 5 months at the time, and he went right onto Nate's shoulder, just whoop, right up there and sat there. And I'm like, well, I think you found your bird, but he learns new stuff all the time, like new songs and everything. But he'll bob his head now too, because Nate taught him to bob his head. So he'll bob his head, and he's technically like the smallest parrot. The cockatiels are the smallest parrots, and they're very smart.
Oh, so yeah. So he like will like mimic, like he'll mimic, like if you whistle, like a certain tune and stuff like that.
Yep.
And then he says like,
Lawrence,
like he does like kisses. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. Yeah. He blows cat. No, Lawrence, they do not sell cats. Ha ha. But they do have, I think it's called a macaw. It's a huge red parrot in there that looks at you like, hello. And you're like, ah. They're like huge beasts. You know,
I had a 6-foot lizard.
A what?
I had a 6-foot lizard. I had an iguana.
Oh my gosh.
I did. I had him when he was like this big. And when I had to give him up for adoption, I literally could hold him. His head would be here. He was bigger than me. His tail would go all the way. Sometimes he could whip it around. I'm like, motherfucker, he was a dick.
I don't know. I like the lizards, but I don't know.
He was my boy, but he was a bastard, man. He was moody. I never knew when he was coming.
Wow. Walter the cockatiel is moody as well. He'll hiss at me. It's really funny because they're so harmless. But like I'll go back there to vacuum, you know, because they throw. I've watched him throw like the seeds he doesn't want onto the floor. So you have to vacuum back there several times a week, and I'll go back with the vacuum hose, and he goes like that, and I'm like, okay, are you done now being a brat? And then he'll lean over and go, and I'm like, okay, are you done? And then he stops.
Yeah, there was that. So when I lived in Ohio for 3 years, and in my apartment I couldn't have anything furry. So I got an iguana. I had 4 snakes. I had an iguana. I had a gecko. I
had 2 geckos. I did have geckos at one point.
I had a chameleon.
So you literally couldn't have anything with fur. Was that in the agreement? No fur, friends?
Yeah. I mean, I technically don't. They said no, furry pets. So I was like, okay. I might have got
Can't leave pets.
pets, but and I loved them, except for the Burmese python. The Burmese python was evil.
Oh no.
Yeah, I couldn't keep him. He was too mean. He was
Just aggressive.
very aggressive. Very aggressive. I mean, most snakes, curl to,
Mhm.
and that was the other thing I had a problem with was I couldn't feed them
Mm.
because I was, all but one ate the live mice. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah,
And I
yeah.
couldn't do that. My boyfriend at the time had to feed them, but
Yeah.
most the two that would eat the live mice, like would one would curl and do what they do, right? This
Suffocate, right? Yeah.
this crazy shit, he would grab it and like bang it up against the glass and bang it up again. And I'm like, we named him Leviathan. I was like, "You psycho." I was like, what's wrong with him? Like,
Yeah.
so and needless to say, I couldn't. I also had a little baby alligator for like
Oh my gosh.
for like 4 weeks. Yeah.
Why do I feel like that's not legal?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I bought it from a pet shop, so I don't know any about. I have pictures of it, of me holding it. Like,
Oh
I
my
literally,
god.
yeah.
You're brave, girl. You're brave. I don't know. I picture her like you've seen the Ace Ventura movies, right? Like the one where he's like in the room, like he's like in the Buddhist room, and there's just animals fucking everywhere. Like birds flying, like
Yeah.
all kinds of stuff.
Yep. Yeah. Little baby alligator for probably like a month. Then I felt bad. I gave it back because I was like, what am I doing? Like,
What am I doing with an alligator?
what am I doing with an alligator? This is nuts. No, I gave him back to the pet shop.
That's the right thing, though. Somebody that has them probably has an I don't know. I'd assume like an outdoor area.
You think you would sell it to somebody that had? I mean, I lived in an apartment.
Swamp.
I was in an apartment in a house. It was a house that ironically now there's some like location everybody goes to on High Street in Fremont, Ohio, which is the street I lived on.
Like a paranormal thing.
Yeah, now there's like some house there. I never knew, and I lived there for 3 years, but that house was active that I stayed in. It was a house, but it had 5 apartments in it. And it still had like the bells upstairs for like to ring the maids and stuff like that. And, I mean, it was a cool property.
That's neat.
Yeah. Why did we talk about that? How did we get on that?
It was the alligator. I have a theory that the alligator came back long after Taryn left and just ate someone, and now it's a story. Now it's a legend. Everyone comes there now because of the legend of the alligator. That's hysterical. Yeah, I really honestly I didn't realize, and of course this was an impulse buy because I was feeling bad for Nate, and they were like, I said, well, how long do these birds live? I honestly thought they were going to say like 8 to 10 years. He said, well, if they're healthy, 25. And I looked at Nate. I said, yes, he's getting a job soon. Shit. That's great. He's going to have them for a while. Do you need to go? Or are you getting a shower? He's breathing heavy.
Oh, yeah, you got to go. Yeah. Plus, I've had you guys for a while, but yeah.
Yeah, he's okay. If you want to dip, you can. Okay. I'm like, he's okay. No, you can go shower if you need to. Yeah. He gets up really early. So how you feel?
Well, thank you, Fred.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming on. Thank you for your input. Thanks for everything. You were great. Thank you so much.
I appreciate it. Bye, everybody.
Did you talk to Biggs? Sorry, 1 second.
Yeah, it's all good.
Okay. All right. I'll come in when I'm off. Okay. Oh.
I won't keep her much longer, I promise.
He's getting a shower. He's good.
That's fine.
But, yeah. All right. Love you. Bye.
I love you.
Bye. Let me scoot. Oh, I'm running into something. Hold on. I'm a mess. There we go. So, yeah. Area. Okay.
So I don't know. What were we saying? So anyway,
alligators and
let's get we totally
and Ohio.
We totally went down talk about some crazy stuff, but I wanted to talk more about is it Hell House? Do you want me to call it Hell House or Waldorf Estate?
Whatever you want. Honestly, it's interchangeable because I sometimes I'll say Waldorf and other times I'll say Hell House. And then in the movies it's the Abaddon.
Oh, well, that's what I was gonna say. A lot of people, that's how we got off of the subject because we started talking about the movies, and I'm like, I've never watched the movies. I didn't know it was, such a a huge thing. You know what
Yeah,
I mean? Like,
it's a found footage series. And, I mean, the very first Hell House movie, I highly recommend. It was done really, really well. And Angie's and she makes appearances throughout them at different times. Like we like binge watched them one night, and I was like, "Is that Angie?" Like she's like she's like there and then not.
yeah,
And her daughter actually played the creepy girl in the first one, so that's really cool too. A lot of her haunt actors were in that first movie.
that's cool.
Yeah, which was really, really cool. But yeah, and now they're on, I want to say, I think they're doing the last movie. I don't know if it's wrapped up filming yet, but one of our special guests that we had come out for August filming, his name is Gideon, and he was, in the Hell House movies himself too. So, and
That's cool.
I don't want to say he's a skeptic, but he's not into this stuff, and he never really
No,
experienced
he's into
anything.
horror.
Yeah, but not like it's weird because you have horror people that interchange with paranormal, and then you have a just like horror. Yeah.
Right.
And so
Right.
it was neat to bring him in too, because he never did anything like this or experimented. So it was really cool. But the movies are found footage, very popular.
Did it make him a believer?
He left with, this was very interesting. There was a couple things that happened. Again, I can't say too much, but he was
Right.
like, and you could see his head, like, because Angie's very, throughout filming, like if a group of people are in there, everybody's outside. There's
Right.
no, people up on this floor while people are down here. You're out there. So when things happen, you really do like scratch
Yeah.
your head a little bit,
Yeah.
So
Awesome.
yeah.
So that's good. I'm glad, and hopefully we get to see it.
Yeah. I mean, I think I have good feelings about it, and I really do think everybody will enjoy it because it is very different. It's a different concept. I don't think I've ever seen anything done this way, that's been on TV before. So, here's to hoping.
And they do paranormal investigations at Hell.
Yes, they do. Yeah, I think you would have to go on the Waldorf website.
Mm-hmm.
And if you go on the Waldorf Estate of Fear website, I believe you can look at the investigations there. I think Angie changed it slightly. I'm not sure. I don't want to say the wrong thing, but I think they might be like solo type things that they do now. But they do have events. They have events throughout the year that are, some are paranormal, and some are like kind of like bringing the horror people in.
And she does the haunted attraction.
She does the haunted attraction, which runs, all of October. So, and I think that actually adds to the activity too, because you have thousands of people just running and being scared and leaving little energetic imprints in there all the time,
Absolutely.
So I think that adds.
Yeah, I agree. I think anywhere really. I mean, you think about Penhurst too. You know what I mean? They do, yeah, and when they do that, I think it definitely adds to
anytime that you have. I think somebody had asked earlier, so I'm going to kind of respond to it. Something about how do I feel about the phone apps? This is how I
missed that.
Yeah, it was a while back, girl. I think we were in another wormhole. I think we were in the Point Phillips wormhole.
Okay.
But this is my feeling on communication in general. If there is a spirit and they want to communicate, they can use whatever they want. So I'm not a big fan of saying certain things don't work. I would prefer to say that, that can, like a K2 meter, that's a big thing. Or some people won't use them, whatever. Bottom line is a spirit can use one if they want to, but you also have to, you have to understand that something else could be triggering it. But I think any device that you could put a Q-tip on the table and ask them to knock it off. So it really comes down to how that spirit wants to communicate. And they really can use whatever they want. I mean, I'm not a fan of the apps personally, but I do feel that if they wanted to use, I keep hitting this damn thing. If they wanted to use like your phone or something, they could. But I think they auto-generate. I've been on locations that do not have anything dark, and I know they don't have anything dark, and then rosary will pop up on the app. It's like,
right.
That's silly. But I think if a spirit wanted to use it, they could shut it off. They could drain the battery. They could do something. So really, I think every situation is different. Every investigation is different. Every person using it is different. So I keep a pretty open mind. I mean, I've had a K2 meter sitting in the middle of the floor and phones and everything in bags in another room and ask a direct question and it hits. To
Right.
me, that's, you know, that's evidence. But then if people have their phones in their pockets and they're getting an email, it's going to set it off. So you have to just know your environment, you know?
Absolutely. 100%. And I gotta say, I love the use of the word rubbish.
Rub.
I do.
We could
I
steal it from
I
the
love
UK.
how people from the UK talk. They talk so smart. You
Yeah,
know?
it sounds intelligent.
Yeah, very
Yeah.
intelligent. I love it. Rubbish.
As
Like,
we're over here having like ADD, like
you know,
it's just rubbish. Yeah, I mean, all kidding aside, I've always wanted to go to the UK. I just think
me
it's
too.
beautiful,
Yeah,
beautiful.
I'd like the opportunity to go.
Yeah.
I mean, I want to go back to Italy. Italy was amazing.
Oh,
Seeing the Colosseum, you know, and the Vatican, and seeing things that you've only always seen on TV is like, you know,
yeah.
I mean, seeing that stuff in person is just, it's just mind blowing. But
You
so
probably just want to
go
stand
back.
there and like just look at it and just
Oh, it's
not like you want
amazing.
to take it in. Yeah.
Yeah. They have the Coliseum actually offers underground tours because it goes 8 feet, it goes 8 stories down.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I'm like,
That's
when we go back, we're doing that.
that's
I was like, I want to tour that entire thing. Oh my,
that is so cool. I mean,
but
I'm fine with underground if it looks like a normal room, but like some of these
yeah.
people that go under and they go into caves and things and, you know,
Well, it's kind of open from what I can see because it was
good.
like, you know, a domey type thing. I
Oh,
think
neat.
I
Okay.
could be wrong. I could be wrong, but
Yeah.
I know somebody that did. They said it was fantastic. And then you have
Sounds great.
Pompeii. Pompeii was phenomenal. I
Wow.
mean, Pompeii was just, I couldn't believe I was walking on streets that were made in 79, actually before 79 AD.
That's
That
crazy.
was when the Mount Vesuvius erupted. So the streets were made even before that. They were so advanced. It's insane.
That's so cool. And I feel like when I'm at places like that or that have such a deep history, it's like you want to take it all in. It's like you don't
Oh,
want to leave
not
because
enough
like
time. There's not
it's
enough
like
time.
you're really thinking about where you're standing. That happens at Gettysburg all the time.
Mhm.
And it happens at Penhurst because I work with special needs people for, oh my God, since I think 1999 was my first job. And I've been doing it since then. So I actually worked with people that were residents there.
Mhm.
And it's like I go in there and I'm like, oh, this is where so and so lived. And it's like I'm just like in the moment, like, holy crap.
Yeah.
You know?
It's crazy. It's
Yeah.
crazy when you think about it, and,
Mhm.
I mean, they had, the Pompeians, they had, like, lead piping systems and a water flow, like, it's insane.
Wow.
That's how they know that, like, how hot, you know, like, 'cause the lead pipes didn't melt. Um, they
Wow.
had in the museum, they had, like, loaves of bread that were still in the ovens. They still have loaves of
What?
bread. They still have loaves of bread from
What?
79 AD that were, like, in the ovens when this happened. Like, it's insane what they
That's
have.
crazy.
It's so crazy.
That is so neat. Oh, hi, Nick. Nick, you know what? Hey, Chunch. That's my nickname well, we have a nickname for each other
I
because
thought
Nick.
he was here earlier.
Yeah, where'd you go, Nick? You better rewatch. No, I'm kidding. No, Nick and I were having dinner one day. Red Robin. He was trying to say church and crunch. I don't know why. I don't know what we were talking about. And he said chunch. And we laughed for like 5 minutes. It was one of those things that was like really funny in the moment.
No,
So,
I feel you. It happened. Yes, I get it.
so now we call each other chunch.
That's cute.
So yeah. Love
That's
you
amazing.
too, Nick. He's so sweet. But
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
I don't know. That's what a lot of people, it's funny because there's a stigma on ghost hunting. But I've noticed that more people are intrigued by it than like they expect ghost hunters to look a certain way. And so like at my job, like I'm in the office and somebody hears, they're like, "You ghost hunt?" And they're like,
Yeah,
"That's so cool. Like I wouldn't think you do
yeah,
that." You
yeah,
know, and but really a lot of it is that being at a place with so much history. Like we're doing Farnsworth with Lawrence on the 28th, and I'm so excited with Lawrence and Casey. And I've been wanting to do Farnsworth forever. And I don't know. I'm excited.
I hope you guys have a fantastic night. I really do.
Yeah, and we're gonna meet up, and we're gonna
Yeah,
have
we'll have dinner.
food.
Yeah, we'll get dinner before you guys do your thing because we're getting there early. So we're gonna get there early in the like in probably we're leaving here in the morning. So
I think we're leaving around noon because I sleep late because I work late. You know, Fred would be out the door at 6 a.m. I can't. I'm not. It's not happening. I can't. I mean, you've heard me in the morning. I sound like I'm a man. I need 2 hours to wake up before I do anything.
Oh, Maggie. So. Megan says I love the Farnsworth. I have an experience almost every time I'm there.
I've heard that. That's what Lawrence said. Lawrence is like, you're going to experience something.
It's a cool place, man. I mean, and just not even if nothing doesn't happen. I'm not saying that there won't. There probably will.
It's an experience, though.
Being there. I mean, knowing that all this stuff was happening in the place that you're sitting, it's just like, it's insane.
And I have to read more of the history. I know some of it, but I don't know all that much. But I want to make sure that my questions make sense. So I'll be looking at stuff next week and kind of, sharpening, I guess, that up a little bit. But this is like my 9th or 10th time in Gettysburg. We've done the schoolhouse, we've done the orphanage, we did the murder house. We've done a lot, and then we just did our own stuff too. But I love it there, even just for leisure. Fred and I have gone just to get away, not even ghost hunt.
I've gone there for like 8 days by myself.
Wow.
I go at least every month.
Dude, really? Wow.
Girl, I have the coordinates tattooed on my arm.
Oh my gosh, that's so cool. That is great.
Yeah, that's how much I love Gettysburg. I would move. I want to move there so bad.
You know what? Fred and I used to talk about that, and now I have the grandbabies, so I won't go that far. But if I didn't have them, I would totally go to Gettysburg. I love it. I have a theory about why. Well, not the only reason, but I think that a lot of us are drawn there because we had relatives. Like all of us had relatives that fought that battle. Yeah. I mean, I'm sure of it. I'm sure of it. All the people that were involved and stuff like that. And so I think there's just that like sort of spiritual connection, I guess, in a way.
Oh, for sure. There's something. I mean, like I watch the sunsets at Little Round Top. I bring a pillow. I have a blanket. I literally like just lay there for hours. Sometimes I fall asleep. I wake up at like 9 o'clock at night and I'm like, what's going on? Where am I at?
And then they kick you off the battlefield. That happened to us. And I felt bad, but the lady was not nice. So I was like,
oh, they don't play around.
Look, we went, it was light.
A park ranger?
Yeah. She was like, I don't know. She kind of like barked at us, but we were coming back. Like you know how like, depending where you're at, it doesn't look like the sun went down. It doesn't look like it. Literally looks
technically you're allowed to be there a half hour after sunset.
It was just sunset and we were leaving and she followed us in her car like we were. I'm like,
yes, they do.
I was like, I'm not going to break into the woods. I promise.
Yeah, sometimes they don't even say anything. They just pull up right behind your car, almost touching your car.
Wow.
Until you get in your car and they will follow you out. Like they're.
But I get it. I get it. I understand.
But you can now stay at some of the houses inside the park. So,
really?
Yes, they have opened up some of the farmhouses.
Wow. Sorry, I'm reading Nick's thing. We're going to Fall River. I'm up there any chance. Yeah. See, I think Nick's probably closer than I am. How long is it for you to get to Gettysburg from where you're at?
2.5 hours.
That's same for me. Isn't that so funny? Because it's the same for me.
Yeah. 2.5 hours too long. I want to be 0 minutes away.
I know. Isn't it funny?
When I move there, you guys can come whenever you want, stay as long as you want for free. I don't even care. Because
are you really like that is a plan? Like you're moving there?
I want to.
Oh my God, that'd be amazing.
I want to.
Be careful what you wish for. Your girl will be in the backyard like, hello. Yeah.
Oh, people can come. They can pop up tents. They stay as long as they want. They can stay in my house. I don't care.
That's so awesome.
Because that's what I would want. Megan does that for me. Anytime I come out, Megan's like, you can stay with me. She's like,
she lives in Gettysburg?
She lives 15 minutes outside of.
Wow, that's great.
So if I'm not going there for a certain thing, like New Year's, we always stay in Lincoln Square. My birthday bar crawl, everybody stays at the Cemetery Hill Inn. You know what I mean? Like,
Oh,
but
I
if
love the Inn at Cemetery Hill. Yeah,
yeah.
we've stayed there a lot.
So like if I'm just going just to like if I'm going for like a paranormal thing or if I'm going to like just for the weekend, Megan's always like, just stay at my house. I don't care if she's there or not there. She just lets me stay.
Oh, that's great. That's awesome. Yeah,
So
because it gets expensive, you know, it gets
yeah,
expensive and you want to travel and then it's gas and food. And I can't believe I have gone there so many times and always made sure that I got a place where I could refrigerate food, microwave food because of not being able to eat gluten. I didn't think that these restaurants would have that. And then, you know, I think it was either you or Lawrence, one of you guys said, well, Google and look around. And I'm like, all these restaurants do actually offer gluten-free stuff. And all
yeah,
this time, when I tell you I've never eaten out there, I've never eaten. One time at the Dobbin House, and that was before I realized I couldn't eat gluten. It was delicious.
Robin's House, the restaurant is so good. And then
Yeah.
they have the rum bellies.
The what?
So they're called rum vengeances. They're
Oh,
rum
okay.
bellies. It's their specialty drink, but they limit 2 per customer.
Oh, are they
Because
strong,
they're
I guess?
strong. Oh
Oh,
yeah.
wow. Okay. Okay. Well, yeah, I have a funny story for you. The first time I went there, the lady was like, make sure when you exit, you look at the little museum on your way out, right? So I was like, okay. And I went up the steps and they have the mannequin.
Yes.
I was like, and I jumped because I didn't expect a mannequin to be right there. And then I realized, oh my God, Underground Railroad.
Yes, they were protecting like when the Confederates came into town, they protected,
Yeah.
you know, the African Americans. They put them
Yeah.
in had like put them into the walls and everything like that so the Confederates wouldn't find them.
Isn't that crazy? And I do remember they had like a placard or something that explained that, but there wasn't even enough room to stand up. You know, it's just this little tiny space. And it's so crazy to think like that stuff actually happened. It's just, it's
I know.
insane. But
And
I love it there. It was such good food. Oh,
they have good everything.
mhm.
Everything there is better.
Yeah, it really is.
And the Sunset's better, the McDonald's is better. I mean, everything in Gettysburg is better.
I will vouch for this. When I swear to you, I got Dunkin' down there somewhere and I was like, they make it right. I swear to God.
Yes,
I was
I'm
like,
telling you.
this area, I don't know how it is in your area, but in Pennsylvania, you don't know what you're getting. You can go to this Dunkin', it's perfect. You go to that one, they forget something. This one tastes like crap. But down there,
Yeah.
yeah.
They do it every time. Even the coffee, like I get coffee from McDonald's. I love McDonald's coffee. It's always perfect. I'm like, I don't know how they do this. Like it's always so perfect.
I know. I'm be drinking a lot of
My
coffee.
fiance thinks I'm crazy. He's like, it's the same. I'm like, it is not the same.
It's not. No, I think they care more because it's a touristy area. They care more. They want you to come back.
Yeah. Or like, I'll go, like Little Round Top. I'm always like, this is the best sunset in the world. He goes, it's the same sunset. I go, no, it's not. It's not.
It's the nostalgia. It's the nostalgia of it. It's the nostalgia. It's funny because if I could have my perfect place to live, I would have Gettysburg close by. And I know this would be impossible, but like the beach close by, because I love both. Like we go to Wildwood, Jersey every summer, and I am like a different person when I'm there.
I used to work down there.
In Wildwood?
Yeah, I used to work down there. Yeah.
Oh, wow. So yeah, we like to be on the south end, the Adventure Ocean.
An hour and a half from my house. Yeah.
Wow. I'm so jealous. It takes us 3.5 hours to get down there, but I love the beach and I love Gettysburg.
Yeah.
If I could have them both, I'd be happy.
That would be cool.
Yeah.
That would be cool. Yeah. I always said if I did buy land out there, like if I bought a house that had land, I would do like an adult sandbox. Oh. So they're like the beach in the back.
Yeah. Oh my God.
If you're allowed, because depending on where you're at.
Mm-hmm.
Because the whole town is the battlefield.
Yeah, it's everywhere you are, everywhere. And I remember when I went there the first time, and I thought, because I guess I wasn't paying attention. I did the auto tour, and I was doing day 3, and I thought that whole drive through was the battle. And then I don't remember who it was anymore, but somebody was like, "Oh no, for day 1 and 2, you need to go down here." And it's
the whole town,
massive size of what took place there. It's insane.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
And it's the best place in the universe. So
Yeah, I agree, girl. I'm excited.
Um,
Jersey Shore. I'm jealous. I want to be there. I love it. I get like depressed when I come back from the beach.
I cry when I leave Gettysburg. I can't stand it. I hate
Yeah.
it.
Isn't
I
it
hate
crazy?
I hate
Yeah.
it. I hate leaving. Like as soon as I get there, I'm already dreading leaving, no matter how long I'm going to be there. Like I'm
Because
like,
it's the beginning of the end.
yeah, I'm like, it's finally here, but it's going to end.
Yeah. Yeah. I
Um,
feel you.
so before I let you go, because
Mhm.
I've had you for so long, tell everybody where they can find, your pages and,
Yeah, I mean, I don't do anything fancy, but I'm on Facebook. I think everybody that's on here, or not everybody, but most people, you can just find me on Facebook. Find me through this advertisement. Beyond the Walls was our YouTube channel. It's still up. It's still active. You can check out. There was a lot of Gettysburg investigations on there, a lot of Pennhurst investigations, and other places that I don't think a lot of people have heard of that we did on there as well, including the documentary of the town I grew up in. That's Beyond the Walls. And I will, update when we know where the show is going.
Well, good luck.
Don't
I
know yet.
wish you guys luck with the
Thank
24 hours
you.
in hell. I hope it's successful for real.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Because you deserve it.
Yeah, everybody, we all worked really hard. It was a lot. It was
Yeah.
everybody. Yeah. So I think we'll do pretty good. It's
Good.
different. So
Well,
thank you.
and everybody that worked on it's talented in some way or shape or
Yeah.
form. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Everybody brought something.
yeah, everybody brought their own thing, and it'll so it's so I'm hoping for the best for everybody.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
So I just want to say I love you
I
and
love
thank you
you
so
too.
much for being my friend and being in my life.
Oh, I
And
love you too. Thank you. Mwah.
and the Bigfoot babes will be the Bigfoot babes will be at some point. I don't know when.
We should just film it on the cell phone and just, that's it. That's it. We could
Hey,
be
I'm
like,
all for that.
listen, we could be the new Haktua. We do something so dumb. Next thing you know, we're on t-shirts and we're millionaires.
Bigfoot babes.
I'm so down. Kristen hates us right now, but I'm so down.
I'm so down. Thank you for joining me, babe, and I will definitely talk to you.
Yes.
But thank you so much, and
thank you.
Give Fred a hug for me and thank him as well.
I will do. Thank you for having us. I much appreciate it.
You have a good night, babe.
All right, you too. Love ya.
Love you too. See ya. What a great couple. I love them. She's great. Please go check them out and look for 24 Hours in Hell. Hopefully we get to see it. I want to thank you guys for joining me this evening, and supporters of them. And please share the show out, not for me, but for my guests and for what they're working on to get it a little bit of notoriety there. And until next week, sweet dreams, everyone. Thank you.